All right, let's dive into what went down in that Ravens versus Dolphins matchup, because man, that game had everything: drama, receipts, and a whole lot of humble pie being served. Before the game even started, it felt like the internet was on fire. Chad Johnson was out there waving the Dolphins flag like he was still on the roster. He wasn't just picking them to win, he was going all in, posting memes, dropping GIFs, talking trash, hyping up Miami like they were about to rewrite history. And of course, Ravens fans weren't having it. Baltimore Twitter lit up, and you could feel the energy even days before kickoff. But the funniest part? Chad took it to another level. Right before the game, he jumped into that wild hypothetical question that was making the rounds online. Would you rather take $100,000 cash right now or get 50 chances to try to score on Ray Lewis for $20 million? And without missing a beat, Chad chose the second option. He said he bullied Ray Lewis back in the day and even posted an old clip of himself chirping in Ray's face. The man was feeling himself. Ravens fans were loving it because they knew if this went south for him, the internet would be undefeated once again. Then the game started, and all that pre-game confidence evaporated fast. Baltimore came out swinging, and by the time the scoreboard read 28-6, it was crystal clear who the real powerhouse was. The Ravens dominated every phase of the game. Lamar Jackson was in total command, calm, confident, precise. He wasn't forcing anything. He wasn't overcompensating. He was just doing what Lamar does, making defenses look lost. After the game, Chad Johnson had no choice but to take the L. He went on social media and said, "It's not looking good. I can't defend this performance tonight." And yeah, nobody let him forget that. When the nightcap show came on, people were locked in, waiting to see how he'd explain himself. And to his credit, Chad owned up to it. He apologized to Ravens fans, saying he got fooled by the Dolphins when the week before. He thought Lamar would be rusty after missing games, that maybe the Ravens' play calling would be off, that Derrick Henry hadn't really been rolling yet this season. He figured Miami had the edge. But then reality hit. Lamar came back looking sharp. The Ravens' run game finally found rhythm, and everything he assumed went out the window. Shannon Sharp chimed in too, and you could tell he was impressed. He said Lamar looked crisp and in complete control. He praised his ability to miss time and still come back without skipping a beat, extending plays, finding tight ends, making smart throws. Shannon even said he couldn't believe how comfortable Lamar looked after that layoff. And honestly, he was right. Lamar's numbers were crazy. 18 completions on 23 attempts, 204 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 picks. A quarterback rating over 143. That's elite efficiency. And here's the thing. Lamar has a history of torching the Dolphins. It's almost unfair at this point. In 5 career games against them, he's thrown 18 touchdowns with just 1 interception. He's had 2 perfect passer rating games and came close 2 more times. For his career against Miami, he averages 281 yards and nearly 4 touchdowns per game. Those are video game numbers. There's something about that aqua and orange that just brings out the best in him. Now, don't get me wrong. Lamar wasn't flawless early on. You could tell he was shaking off some rust, especially in that first half when the offense missed a couple of chances to put Miami away early. But once he settled in, it was vintage Lamar. He wasn't running wild like his rookie year. He was calculated, smart, picking his moments. When the Dolphins' defense broke contain, he made them pay. When they stayed disciplined, he just diced them up from the pocket. It's that balance that makes him so dangerous. And let's not overlook how the Ravens complimented him. The special teams, defense, and offense were all feeding off each other. Jordan Stout pinned the Dolphins deep with that perfect punt. Then the defense immediately forced a fumble deep in Miami territory. Lamar and Mark Andrews wasted no time cashing it in for a touchdown. It was a 3-phase masterpiece, one of those sequences that defines how complete this Ravens team has become. What's crazy is how this game flipped the entire narrative that had been building all week. Everyone was ready to talk about Miami's offense, their speed, their creativity. Instead, it was the Ravens' defense that turned heads, pressure up front, tight coverage in the secondary, and discipline on every level. They didn't just contain the Dolphins, they completely shut them down. Every time Miami tried to build momentum, Baltimore answered right back. And that's what made Chad Johnson's pre-game confidence look so misplaced. You can talk all you want about potential and flash, but when it comes down to execution, the Ravens have built something consistent. They play grown man football. They wear you down. They force mistakes, and they capitalize. That's exactly what happened in this game. Miami beat a short-handed Falcons team last week and thought they were ready for Baltimore. But the Ravens exposed that gap in a big way. For Lamar, this wasn't just another win. It was a statement. After missing time, he came back like he never left, proving once again that he's one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the league. He spread the ball around, found his tight ends, and trusted his guys. That chemistry was on full display, and you could see how comfortable he was running Todd Monken's offense. Sure, there were moments early on where he looked like he was feeling things out, but once he got in rhythm, Miami had no answers. And honestly, that's been the story of Lamar's career. Every time people doubt him, every time someone says he's not the same or he's limited, he responds like this. The man is breaking records before turning 29. He's tied with Peyton Manning for the most games with 4 or more touchdown passes and 5 or fewer incompletions. Think about that. He's already up there with all-time greats like Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and Aaron Rodgers in efficiency, and he's still in his prime. That's insane. This wasn't just about Lamar, though. It was about the Ravens reminding everyone that they're still one of the most dangerous teams in football when they're healthy and clicking. The defense is forcing turnovers again. The pass rush is heating up. The offense finally has balance. And even the fan base can feel it, that sense of confidence, that swagger that comes when everything's working together. So yeah, Chad Johnson might have learned a hard lesson here. The Dolphins are fun, but the Ravens are built different. When they're locked in, they don't just win, they dominate. And after this game, it's safe to say Baltimore's sending a message to the rest of the league. Don't sleep on us. Because when Lamar's in rhythm, when the defense is locked down, and when the team is playing complementary football like this, it's a problem for everyone else. After that dominant win, the energy in Baltimore's locker room was electric. You could feel it in every interview, every quote, every laugh that came from the post-game celebrations. And one of the guys who really stood out was Zay Flowers. He's young, but he talks like someone who's been through a few wars in this league. After the game, when reporters asked him how he felt, he didn't hesitate. He said, "We're just getting started. Everybody's feeling good. Everybody's back. It's time to go on a run." And man, that kind of confidence, that belief in the team, that's what you want to hear from one of your young stars. He wasn't being cocky or careless. It wasn't overconfidence. It was that perfect mix of swagger and focus, the exact attitude a contender needs halfway through the season. Zay talked a lot about taking things one game at a time, which shows that he gets it. The Ravens have adopted that mentality all year long. Stay grounded, focus on what's in front of you, don't get caught up in the hype. But at the same time, he knows what kind of team he's a part of. He can look around that locker room and see what's building. Lamar's playing at an MVP level. Derrick Henry's starting to find rhythm in the run game. The receivers are growing in chemistry, and the defense looks more complete than it has in years. When you combine all of that, it's hard not to feel like something special is brewing. And honestly, that's the difference between this year's Ravens and some of the past versions. They've had talented rosters before, but this team feels mature. They know how to handle momentum without losing focus. Even after that big win against the Dolphins, nobody was dancing like the job was done. It was more like, yeah, we expected this. Now let's go do it again. That quiet confidence is dangerous. It's the kind of energy championship teams carry through the grind of a long season. If you look at the numbers, you start to understand why this team's confidence is so high. Lamar Jackson has been ridiculous. He's got 14 touchdown passes through 5 games, with only 1 interception. That's a ratio most quarterbacks dream about. And it's not just the stats, it's how he's doing it. He's more patient, more decisive, and more balanced than ever. He's not relying on his legs as a crutch anymore. He's using them as a weapon when he chooses to, not because he has to. And that shift has made him even more dangerous. Doug Clawson posted a stat that blew everyone's mind. Lamar has the highest passer rating through the first 5 games of any season in NFL history, sitting at an absurd 136.7. That's not normal. That's greatness in real time. And if you look deeper, he's thrown 55 touchdowns and just 5 interceptions over the last 2 seasons. Those are video game numbers. We're watching a player who's redefining what it means to be a dual-threat quarterback. He's efficient, he's calm, and he's rewriting the narrative every single week. And while Lamar's getting most of the headlines, this offense as a whole deserves its flowers. The Ravens have scored 4 or more offensive touchdowns in every full game Lamar has played this season. That kind of consistency says everything you need to know about their rhythm. When the offense is on the field for a full 60 minutes, they're producing. And not just producing, they're controlling games. You can see it in the way defenses react. Opponents are playing on their heels, trying to guess what's coming next, and the Ravens are making them pay for every hesitation. Zay Flowers has become a key piece of that machine. He's not just another rookie wideout trying to find his place. He's confident, explosive, and he already has chemistry with Lamar that looks years in the making. Every time Lamar drops back, Zay's running routes with purpose, finding space, creating separation, and making himself available. You can tell Lamar trusts him, and that trust matters. When your young receiver feels empowered like that, he starts to play even freer, and that's when big plays happen. What makes Zay's mindset even more impressive is that he's not getting caught up in the noise. He could easily start talking about playoffs or stats or individual goals, but instead, he's talking about consistency, about taking care of business every week. That's the kind of leadership you love to see from a guy that young. It's contagious. When someone that new to the league speaks with that kind of maturity, veterans take notice. And it's not just the offense building confidence. The defense is stepping up in a big way. At the start of the season, the Ravens struggled to generate consistent pressure and create turnovers. But over the last few games, that's changed completely. You can see it in their body language. They're flying to the ball, communicating better, and closing out drives instead of letting opponents hang around. That three-phase sequence in the Dolphins game, the punt by Jordan Stout, the forced fumble by the defense, and the quick touchdown connection between Lamar and Mark Andrews. That's the kind of complementary football coaches dream about. It shows that every unit is locked in, feeding off each other's energy. And that's what's making Baltimore so dangerous right now. They're not relying on one superstar to carry them. It's a complete effort. Everyone is contributing, everyone's dialed in, and that's a scary sight for the rest of the league. The Dolphins found that out the hard way. They made mistakes, sure, but the Ravens capitalized on every single one of them. That's what separates good teams from great ones. The most encouraging part for Ravens fans is how balanced everything feels. The offense is humming, the defense is forcing turnovers, and even special teams are making an impact. There's a rhythm to how this team is playing right now, and it doesn't feel forced. It feels earned. They've been through injuries, through ups and downs, and now they're hitting that stride where everything's clicking. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support keeps us bringing you the latest news on the Baltimore Ravens. And hey, drop your take in the comments below. We want to hear from the flock. Whispers have been circling the league for weeks, but now it seems the deal is all but done. Former 49ers star wide receiver, Deebo Samuel, is reportedly heading to the Baltimore Ravens. Sources close to the matter suggest that Samuel, known for his bruising runs and relentless playstyle, is arriving with one goal in mind: to dominate the AFC. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the buzz around this potential blockbuster move is impossible to ignore. Deebo's tenure with San Francisco was marked by jaw-dropping versatility. Few receivers in recent memory have combined breakaway speed, physicality, and toughness quite like him. He could line up in the slot, take handoffs, or turn a routine catch into a 60-yard touchdown sprint. Now, all eyes are on Baltimore, a team already known for its bruising run game and defensive dominance, wondering how Samuel's presence could shift the balance of power in the conference. Rumors suggest he's already been spotted working out at the Ravens facilities, and insiders hint at a locker room welcome befitting a superstar hungry for a new challenge. For the Ravens, this would be more than just a high-profile acquisition. It could be a statement. Lamar Jackson, already one of the most electrifying quarterbacks in the league, could find a perfect complement in Samuel. Imagine the combination of Jackson's elusiveness with Deebo's ability to punish defenders after the catch. Opposing defenses across the AFC would be forced to rethink their game plans entirely. Some league analysts speculate that Baltimore's offense could morph into one of the most dynamic units in football, capable of torching any secondary in the conference. And let's not forget Samuel's mindset. Those who have worked with him describe a competitor who never settles, someone who thrives under pressure and treats every down like a personal vendetta. If the rumors are true, the Ravens aren't just adding talent. They're inheriting a mindset, a ferocity that could redefine the team's identity. Social media is already ablaze with speculation, memes, and bold predictions. Fans are dreaming of highlight reel catches, game-changing runs, and perhaps even a championship run that bears the unmistakable stamp of Deebo Samuel. While nothing is official yet, the mere possibility of this move has sent shockwaves through the league. Deebo to Baltimore isn't just a trade rumor. It's the kind of story that keeps fans on the edge of their seats, ignites locker room chatter, and fuels endless debates on sports radio. If it happens, the AFC may not know what hit it. Samuel, with blood in his eyes and fire in his heart, might just be about to make Baltimore his playground and the rest of the league his targets. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with exclusive news on our Baltimore Ravens, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what the flock thinks. Drop your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next one.